episode of the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast, coming to you from the One More and I'm Out of Here studios. And there's a nice opening right there.
That was a good opening. Good work.
Over the weekend, Donald Trump went to, and by the way, I'm Dan Kiefer is right there.
Yeah.
No Pappas today.
You know, it's no Pappas.
So what the hell is he doing?
He's gallivanting around the country.
For God's sake. All right.
Well, as you said last show, he was waving his freak flag.
It's
you think they let him bring it on the plane back?
He got a little, dare I say, butt hurt about that.
He totally did.
So
I think we literally got a text, 2 dead men.
Well, he's not backing that up. Maybe he just doesn't want to be on the show anymore.
Well, his buddy Dan Varner, one of our sponsors, sent me that picture. So it seemed legit.
I don't think we have a picture of this though. And I was just thinking about this. I was on my social media yesterday. Actually, it was on Facebook. And I don't look at Facebook every day. I look at it, I don't know, once a week, once every couple of weeks. And I'm looking at some stuff on there. And I noticed that there were a number of people upset with the Trumpster because he went to the dignified transfer ceremony of the fallen American servicemen coming back to the United States. Did you see any video of this?
Yes, I did. And
okay.
I was actually, you being a former or a veteran, not former, but you're always a veteran. I was going to ask you because I had to look it up. Because I rail on, there's a certain person in this township that I'm on the Facebook page, and her and I go back and forth. Complete lefty, weirdo, just an idiot. We'll just call it what it is, an idiot. And actually, your wife has actually commented on some of the things I've said, like, "Ooh, good one, yeah, you got her there." But they were blasting, so I had to look. Because I wasn't sure.
You didn't happen to grab a picture of Trump at the transfer ceremony?
I did not, but I can.
All right. So I'm looking at the post, and there's one individual who used to write for the local paper here, and he's complaining about Fox News because, according to him, Fox News, I guess during the course of the day, showed video from back in December when Trump was at Dover for a dignified transfer ceremony. And then that was different than the one that happened this past weekend because this past weekend he was there and he had on a baseball cap that said USA. There, right there, that picture, that cap that said USA across the front of it. Well, apparently, according to the people who are belly aching about this, they don't like the fact that Trump had the cap on. Because no other president before has worn a cap. And apparently this is part of the Trump line of merchandise that was associated with this campaign.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is your problem? And then they want to claim, they're making this claim, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I had Fox News on. So I had to go in, I had to do a show Saturday night on the radio. And it was kind of a late call to the bullpen. So I'm doing show prep on there. I knew Trump had been gone to the transfer ceremony. I had Fox News on because I wanted to see the video of it. And John Scott was anchoring that last Saturday afternoon. And he kept saying, President Trump is at the transfer ceremony. There's no live coverage. There's video of it. As soon as we get the video of it, we'll have it in for you. You know, we'll have it on the air. So the time comes, they're playing it on the air. I go there and I see pictures of Trump and I'm thinking to myself, I like that cap because he's rendering, if you notice, he's rendering a proper salute. He's got his elbow out where his elbow is supposed to be, unlike the salutes that Biden, or Kamala Harris used to throw up or Obama. But in any case, I remember remarking to myself about this cap. And then I saw later that night, these people were belly aching about, they were saying that Fox News was showing video of the dignified transfer from back in December when he didn't have the cap on.
Right. And I did see that.
So Fox played that, and they said it was inadvertent.
I didn't see it live, but I saw pictures side by side.
But what I saw on Fox News was the one from this weekend where he had the cap on. If they played video of him from December saying that it was this weekend, then they made a mistake.
And that's where
I've seen it reported that they said they inadvertently showed that and said it was. So they announced their mistake.
They retracted.
There are people who are complaining about this, saying that Fox News is covering up for Trump because it was such a bad look for him to have that cap on.
So
what the hell is wrong with these people?
Well, with that. So the one that I reel against on social media is the one that accosted me at Walgreens that we talked about probably like 5, 6, 7 shows ago. But they're losing their minds, and I get it. So I had to look it up because I wasn't sure what the proper etiquette is. And technically, yes, he should have taken his hat off. He should have removed his cover because he's not in uniform. He's not a veteran, but he wasn't in a uniform, whatever. He is allowed to salute, and he is our commander-in-chief. So, yes. But technically, yes, I will say he should have taken his hat off. But, everybody going nuts about Fox News. You're in media. You were on TV. How many times have a chyron at the bottom, which you taught me that word, but a chyron been wrong, whether it's misspelled or whatever? Yet you had one fucking job.
Lots of times.
But guess what? Humans are human, right? They're going to fuck up. So showing that, the fact that they retracted it, I don't understand why it's such an issue anymore. He was there, though. He showed up, where there's been many times where Barack Obama was not there. Joe Biden was not there when service members have come home. Not that you have to be there for every single one of them, because, obviously in years past, that would take up your whole fucking year, it seems like. But they retracted it. So I don't understand what the big deal is outside of the fact, I wish he would have removed his hat. But if that's the biggest thing that we're fucking worried about, things are going pretty fucking good.
Okay, well,
again, it's going to go into gas prices here. Watch it.
I don't know what the comments. I don't know what the protocol is.
I looked it up.
Him having a hat on doesn't bother me.
He should not have had a hat on, but
doesn't bother me in the least.
It doesn't bother me personally.
I don't care if it came from his line of merchandise. I don't. It was a nice hat. The hat reads USA.
Yeah,
that to me is supporting America. He's the president of the United States. America first. That's what he is about. So he had the hat on, and all you people who are clutching your pearls over this and complaining about this and putting posts up on the Facebook, go screw yourself. Really, you don't have anything better to worry about than that. Come on, man.
I would love if there was, and granted, it's a time of mourning for the families of those 6 now, and we have a 7th from the state of Kentucky that just got announced earlier today. But I would love to see an interview and see if the family is butthurt about the president being there wearing a fucking ball cap.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on it, so I would imagine. And look, Trump is usually, when he talks to the families of these fallen warriors, he's usually very good on that. And the times that he has done it in the past, the families have spoken very highly of Trump and what he had to say. So, look, they'll be on to something else in the next couple of days, but this is another level of, and we have talked about it many, many times, Trump derangement syndrome. And our old buddy James Carville is suffering quite a bit, quite deeply.
Where's it at?
With Trump derangement syndrome.
I just fucking had it. Oh,
and he was on a program last week.
It's fucking amazing. And hopefully it doesn't play an ad. I tried to get this shit squared away before we started. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And just absolutely unloaded when it comes to talking about how infected he is, and he knows it. And he says as much in this cut right here.
I feel like it's somebody that I picked up from fucking nursing homes that are going in straight fucking dementia.
Look, you fat fuck Trump, if you listen to this, you listen good, because what I'm getting ready to say is what a lot of people in this country speak for, who I speak for. And I speak for a lot of fucking people. You hear me, you fat asshole? This is what we believe. You're right. I got Trump derangement syndrome. I hate the motherfucker. And you know what? I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. I want to hate him more. I pray to God in heaven, God reign the righteous reign of Trump derangement syndrome on me. Pray for me, Lord. I'm your vessel on this earth. Pray for the people that listen to this. We want more. We want to hate the son of a bitch so much that we can't see straight.
So James Carville, I mean, he knows. He knows he's got it, man. He is ate up.
He reminds me of my fucking grandfather, man. You get that motherfucker out of my house right now.
But listen to what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah, I got Trump derangement syndrome, and I want more of it. This is about as advanced as it gets right here. I mean, the guy is complete. And the thing is, he has been preaching nonstop since the day Trump got elected the second time around. He has been trying to tell Democrats, you need to do X, Y, and Z to combat Trump. And in some cases, I think some of these Democrats are doing what Carville has been saying. And the fact that it's not working is just making him lose his fucking mind.
Driving him fucking crazy.
It's
him and a ton of others, obviously. But seeing that, I saw that clip before you sent it, but when you sent it, I was like, oh, that's fucking perfect. Because you would see him every Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Every Sunday morning. And it's sad to see, we all age and we all get older. It's sad to see him because he was like a robust man. And now he just looks like a disheveled fucking geriatric who's just losing his fucking mind in the fact that he doesn't have a grasp anymore than what he used to have. Like, he used to be a fucking, a big hitter. And now he's fucking inconsequential.
Yeah. And so this all ties together with something else I saw this weekend. Was a woman posted on X, and she was talking about Joe Biden, and she was asking the question, how is it possible? And she showed Barack Obama first time out, 76 million votes. His reelection went down 73 million votes, but he still won. Then it showed the votes that I guess that Hillary Clinton got, and she was under 60,000. I mean, of course, she lost. Then all of a sudden, you got Joe Biden, boom, with this big bump up to 81 million votes. 81 million votes. And then it showed Kamala Harris back down to 71 million votes. And she was asking the question, how could this possibly happen? How could Joe Biden get 81 million votes? And of course, the answer is that he didn't get 81 million legitimate votes. And I've said, I responded to it and I said, look, if this was true, if Joe Biden actually got 81 million votes, then there would be books written, there would be documentaries made, there would be universities that have college classes dedicated to studying how this happened. There would be consultant firms that would copy exactly what Joe Biden did, and it would be called the greatest political movement in the history of the United States. This guy mobilized 81 million people to go out and vote for him.
It would be made to be the roadmap for anybody that's right.
But those things do not exist. And why don't they exist? Because he didn't get 81 million votes, and everyone knows it.
Right.
Everyone knows it.
Sir, there's a question on the board from our buddy, Cincy. He said, do you think there's an equally irrational opposite syndrome, a syndrome where you agree, believe, and support Trump no matter what? I'd like to hear Dan's thoughts. So he is asking you directly.
I really can't speak to that because I would think that you would have to. You would have to be part of that group to recognize it.
You'd have to disagree with what he's doing, right? You'd have to be.
We have made it clear and plain on this podcast many times that we do not agree with everything.
Correct.
That comes out of the Trump White House.
I'll give you. That's what I was waiting for you to say.
I'll give you the latest example. The latest example is a series of videos that came out over the weekend, and I guess essentially they're hype videos. And what they are is they came from the White House. They're a series of little vignettes, about 30 or 45 second long videos. and it's one scene after another of American firepower taking out missile launchers, taking out military sites, taking out aircraft, blowing things up, making big holes in the ground, taking buildings out, all that kind of crap. And so what they did, and I have no idea why they did this, is they intercut these videos with one is like a cartoon of SpongeBob. And SpongeBob says, hey, want to see me do it again? And boom, there's another thing blows up. Want to see me do it again? Boom, another thing blows up. They cut up another one.
Fucking clever, though.
That's got clips of Grand Theft Auto in there. And you blow something up, and then the word wasted appears across the screen. There's another one that has movie clips from Braveheart. It's got movie clips from Top Gun, some other war movies that you would recognize. And I saw these videos, and I was talking to Pappas about this on Saturday. And I said, I listened
to part of that. It was very good.
I said, these videos they're a little distasteful. And this is war. We're talking about, even though it's the enemy, we're talking about lives being lost here. We're talking about this is real life war, and you're comparing it to a video game, or you're making light of it with SpongeBob cracking a joke. Hey, want to see me do it again?
This is big shit. Yeah.
To my way of thinking, stuff like that should not be coming from the White House. And I don't know if Trump gave the go ahead to that or he signed off on it, but it's his White House, so the buck stops with him.
Yeah.
So, no, I disagree with that. If I would have seen those videos, look, I'm perfectly fine with watching videos of us, the Americans, blowing shit up.
Fuck yes.
I could watch that all day. I mean, you talked about how many times did you watch a ship that got sank and went to the bottom of the Gulf.
Yeah.
I mean, I can look at that kind of stuff all day. I'm perfectly fine with it. But making light of it, or sort of taking the edge off by cutting it in, with video games or movies or, cartoons or something like that, I just don't think that shows the proper respect and has the proper weight that this thing should have to it. So I completely disagree with those videos coming out. So don't try to hang this around my neck that I'm just here, sucking his cock all day and all night. Trump is great. Well, we don't roll like that.
No,
and that's just one example of the latest. And we've had many examples of things that we disagree with. Yeah. that Trump has done.
And if you go back and look, we're like, hey, wish he wouldn't talk so much at times. Like, I mean, it's just all these things in the last presidency. Yeah. And then now we've sat there and said, yeah, wish he wouldn't talk so much. He does kind of talk like a buffoon at times, but sometimes he is very clear. Like, we talked about the State of the Union. I thought the State of the Union was absolutely fucking amazing. He was right down the fucking line. Boom, 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 boom. When he goes off cuff, yeah, he's a little bit of a fucking weirdo. Get it. But what he's doing and his actions, and the big thing right now is, oh my God, gas prices are up because we're in Iran. Oh my God, gas prices are up. If you didn't think that was going to happen multiple weeks ago, like the planning process, and they knew that shit was going to happen, you're crazy. It's all calculated fucking moves. It's not just him saying, hey, we signed, I'm checking the box and get everybody over there. This is all planned.
And Trump is getting raked by Republicans and Democrats for gas prices going up. $100 a barrel is what it hit today. It'll probably go higher than that. Right now, what are we seeing around here? Like $3.49.
Yeah, right about there.
We'll probably, before this is all said and done, we'll probably be in the neighborhood of $4 a gallon again. That's probably going to happen. Am I happy with that? No, I'm not happy with that. But I do recall when gasoline prices shot up under the Biden administration
for a long time.
And what did they call it? They called it Putin's price hike. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And so this was during the onset of the Russia-Ukraine war, and they were blaming the gas prices on Putin. And they were talking about us sending aid to Ukraine in massive amounts of military aid and weapons and those sorts of things. And if you remember the narrative at that time, the narrative that came from the Biden administration at that time was that you should be happy that you're doing your patriotic duty to combat Putin or fight Putin by paying these higher gas prices.
Yeah.
So I'll give the Trump administration credit that they're not spinning some kind of phony narrative like that. But the truth is out there. The Strait of Hormuz it's still open. Ships can go through there. And I was talking to an analyst that I had on my show earlier today, and the deal is basically insurance. The big insurance companies, Lloyd's of London, and the very top line insurance companies, they insure these freighters and oil tankers that have to go through the Strait of Hormuz. But because of the threat that's being presented by Iran, the insurance companies are not letting these ships move. And so Trump has said, well, we'll back the insurance, called reinsurance. We'll back up the insurance companies. And I think there was one ship that went through over the weekend. But Iran really doesn't have the capability to blockade or shut down or threaten these ships that go through there. But it's an insurance thing right now. Once they get that straightened out, or once insurance companies feel comfortable enough that these ships can go through without getting blown up, then I think things are going to get moving again.
And I think I saw an article earlier today. I didn't pull it up, but I think I saw an article that said it'll be a couple weeks, and then it's going to be business as usual going through. That's their projection.
Yeah, but right now there's a lot of uncertainty, and that's what the market is reacting to.
And in fairness, like, obviously the administration had a projection of how long we would be over there, fucking them up and whatever, and trying to help the Iranian people. I think it's going to be longer than, what do you say, like 4 to 5 weeks or whatever. I think it's going to be longer than that.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And especially since they just brought in his son as the next, now the third leader. But that guy's got a mark on his fucking head, and they better be hiding him somewhere really, really good, because as long as he stays in, and we were talking about earlier today, I've heard that he's even worse than his fucking dad was. So the liberation,
I've heard he's a hardliner. Much more than that, I don't really know anything about this guy.
I've just and that's just in table talk conversation, but I think we'll be there longer. I'm okay with I don't like the higher gas prices, to your point, but I see the greater end at the end of the day once it's done. But watching everybody lose their fucking minds just absolutely cracks me up.
Yeah,
because you're not seeing the forest through the trees. He's not doing things just because I want to do it. There's a reason behind it. But nobody can grab onto that part.
Yeah. So 513, I hope that answers your question.
It probably didn't.
I don't care.
It probably didn't. He'll get mad and he'll say something stupid.
I don't care.
Get fucking angry at us, which we're used to. We don't have Pappas to get pissed off when I show his comments on the screen, which that's kind of one of my favorite parts. Let's see. What's he saying? I'm looking at the chats while you're fucking looking at that.
I'm just flipping through my X here.
All right. So obviously we talked about, Iran has named the Ayatollah's son as their now third supreme leader, which I just think it's funny in the fact that we could blow out a whole leadership. Then they bring in the junior varsity team. We blow them out. So now they bring in the freshman team like, oh, we need people.
Yeah. But Trump made the comment over the weekend that he wanted to be involved in selecting who the next leader of Iran was going to be, which I don't know that is really the way to go on that. But
and see, look, we're answering his question.
But what he did say was that he wanted to make sure that if they pick someone to be the leader of Iran, it's someone that is not going to put us right back in the same situation where we are now in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right. There's a reason
So,
why we're there.
Yeah, so I think the reasoning behind that is good, but I don't think that Trump ought to be the one who is picking the next leader, maybe for an interim basis. But it's at some point, I guess they're going to have elections and decide it's got to be up to the people.
And if that's fucking loud, hopefully it is. Like, hopefully the people are rising up enough. I don't know if you've seen a bunch of the videos where people here in the States that are Iranian descent or still have family over there. They're like, we absolutely are on board with what is happening because our people have been pushed down so fucking hard, and everybody keeps bringing up November of 79, which obviously was a huge fucking deal, but we've been dealing with this since then. So finally somebody had the fucking balls and not just him. I mean, it's a collaborative effort, obviously. And people are pissed off that Israel's involved and, we're on Israel's jock and, whatever. It's called a collaborative effort to make everything better.
So Azerbaijan is congratulating the new supreme leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I pulled this up.
I thought Azerbaijan liked this.
Apparently not.
I don't know.
President sent a letter to Khamenei and made the announcement in a post shared on X. Once again, I extend my condolences to you on the tragic passing of your father, the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Relations.
I wouldn't use the word tragic.
No, I would not either. I don't think it was tragic enough, to be honest with you. Relations between the Republic of Azerbaijan and Islamic Republic of Iran stem from the will of the peoples who historically lived in an atmosphere of good neighborliness and friendship. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's how I think about you because we live right around the corner from each other. I hope that together we'll make further efforts to develop interstate relations in a spirit of mutual respect and trust in accordance with the interests of our peoples. And that's what the letter read.
Yeah, I guess he's saying, don't send any missiles our way. Please don't bomb us.
What's funny is somebody in the neighborhood was flying a drone. It wasn't me. And I was like, oh shit. They're coming for the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. They're getting ready to fucking dive bomb us.
Are they looking in the windows?
I don't know. I couldn't see it. I could just hear it. I know the sound.
You do know the sound, that's for sure.
I do know the sound. Let's see. I had another picture video. I thought maybe not on that one. But no, it's crazy times right now. But like everybody just fucking relax. Gas prices were up, like you said, under Biden, and they stayed there for a very long time. We'll have to deal with a couple weeks. Maybe a month of fucking high gas prices, maybe a little bit longer, but there's a reason behind it. Where with Biden, there was no reason behind it. And I forgot when you said Putin's price hike. I forgot the term.
Putin's price hike, yeah.
I forgot the term, but yeah, I do remember that.
And then Biden went ahead and started draining the strategic petroleum reserve in order to lower gasoline prices to help him maintain his political viability. And I was reading some articles over the weekend about how there are some people out there criticizing Trump because the petroleum reserves aren't topped off right now. They're not filled up all the way. But he started, he started back in January a program of refilling the strategic petroleum reserve, and the infrastructure that is in place only allows it to be filled so fast.
Right.
And you can the way it's set up is you can drain it a hell of a lot faster than you can fill it back up.
Exactly.
Right. So it is a long-term process.
Supply demand.
Yeah, and that process was already ongoing before this even started. So it's just, they try to, and I think that's why Carville is so bent out of shape, because they try to come at him from so many different vectors, and he's able to just keep doing what he's doing, and in a lot of cases act like they don't even exist, and all these all these attacks just bounce right off. And I think that's they get bent out of shape about it. And Carville is extremely bent out of shape.
And I think watching him go on that fucking rant, though, when you sent me that, I was so glad you sent it, because I watched it the other day, and I was literally giggling to myself. And I typically, like, I scroll through and I'll laugh at something. I was belly laughing, like, this motherfucker is just unhinged, completely unhinged. Let's see, we got James McGee, our buddies. He's in the chats. John, Tyler, Will Cray's here. Falk, obviously, she's a mainstay of the One
all
Word
the
Battery
time,
podcast.
every time, all the time. I love it.
Where you had it pulled up? Do you want to go?
This guy?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake!
Do you want to go there?
I
saw you had it pulled up. I
Yeah,
always have to look at Dan's computer, because Dan will scroll and he'll look at furry cats here and there, and then he'll go to like hot rod cars, and then he'll go to what we actually want.
Well, we talk a lot on this show about how dangerous the trans community is becoming in America. Not not just when they go on shooting rampages and kill people at a school or a place of business, but it also has to do with child abuse. And you're going to see a picture of Representative Stacey Marie Lawton, the first openly transgender person elected to New Hampshire's House of Representatives. Stacey Marie pleaded guilty to child sex abuse charges against children as young as 3 years old.
Fucking.
I mean, is that just the most disgusting thing you can possibly think of?
Fucking gross.
Lawton's partner took naked photos of children between the ages of 3 and 5 in daycare bathrooms and sent them to Lawton. The couple sent thousands of text messages about the children, with Lawton requesting access to have sex with them.
What's that mean? Is what I'm. When I read that, I was like, "Who are you asking?"
I guess Lawton's partner, because Lawton's in the.
I mean, are you
New
reaching
Hampshire
out?
House of Representatives?
Are they reaching out to the parents?
Lawton's partner is I guess somehow has access to this child care.
That's so crazy.
And so, Stacey Marie there.
That's why.
I don't think Stacey Marie was his given name at birth. Is telling is
Stephen
my God, look at
Stephen Mario.
How do you look at a God? I mean,
It's gross.
A 3 or a 5-year-old kid and say, yeah, I want to do that kid. I mean, that is sick.
That's fucking disgusting.
The couple sent thousands of text messages back and forth. Lawton faces 30 years in prison for charges. And to my way of thinking, 30 years is not even close.
Absolutely not.
To being enough. It should be 30 years for each kid. And then, then you're talking about spending the rest of your life in prison.
It actually should be like not jail time. It's 30 years of you getting completely fucking berated one way, shape, or form, and take a vote. You take a vote on what kind of fucking harm you're going to put on that person. Because that, like you said, 3 to 5 years, it's gross no matter what. Doesn't matter the fucking age. It's fucking disgusting.
And now there's
and these are people in fucking government, Dan.
They're state representative. But there's a whole movement out there now that seeks to take the stigma off of pedophilia. So if you're a pedophile, then these so-called health experts, they say it's not fair to traumatize these people. They can't help it. It's just a sexual preference.
Oh God.
I saw Dennis Miller do a joke about this one time, and he was talking about sexual deviance. And Dennis Miller said, he says, I don't care if you're, gay, straight, you want to have sex with animals, whatever you want to do. He said, but if your sexual thing is to do it with kids, he says, you know what? He says, next time you're at the plate, just step into that pitch and take one for the team. he was telling them, off yourself.
Yeah.
And only the way Dennis Miller could do it.
Correct.
But so this is, again, Stacey Marie Lawton, first openly transgender person elected to the New Hampshire House of Representatives. Who do you think Stacey Marie Lawton is friends with? Who would you guess?
It's not fair.
One.
We'll give it a second. It's not fair because I already know the answer.
I know you know.
But I want to see if anybody
one of the favorite people that we love to talk about and highlight on the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast.
We'll give a slight hint. He may or may not have been involved with somebody named Bang Bang. Is that a good hint?
Our buddy from California, Eric Swalwell. And put the picture up there, and there they are. What's the caption there on the bottom?
Transgender lawmaker pleads guilty to sexually exploiting toddlers.
Yeah.
Mainstream media, including CNN, chooses to ignore it.
Well, of course they chose to ignore it. And so there's the dude hanging out with Swalwell. Another great picture there with that stupid looking diaper on his face.
Fucking diaper. Fact, Representative Eric Swalwell, or Swalwell as well as we call him, publicly supported Stacey Marie Lawton, a former New Hampshire lawmaker who was later arrested on federal child exploitation charges. He vouched for a pedophile.
Yeah.
He should be nowhere near the halls of Congress. And we've been saying that ever since this podcast started. Like, it was right around that time when all that bullshit went down, and we fucking grabbed it.
Yeah.
And then somebody in this later said, I support public hanging of pedophiles and sexual predators, which is the way, to Dan and my ways of thinking, that's the way it should be. It actually should be worse.
You're not supposed to call them pedophiles anymore. You're supposed to call them minor attracted persons.
Oh yeah, I gotta change my vernacular.
Yeah, they're a map. They're a map now.
But look at that. What the fuck? You sent me that one. I did not see that one. I was glad you sent that. It's so fucking gross where our society has nothing to do with government. It has to do with society and the shit that we're allowing to happen with those types of things. And, obviously, I've got a 14-year-old stepdaughter, and I would fucking kill somebody. If something bad happened to her, I would fucking kill him. You've got a new grandbaby. You have kids. Like, you understand it. And I don't get where people are electing these types of people into certain political positions, whether it starts at school board or whether it goes all the way up to fucking representatives or Congress, Senate.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is
I just don't understand it.
This is not the only case of this. You can go ahead and research it, and I've done a little bit of research on this, but there is case after case after case of a transgender individual who is either out of school or in state government, or I don't think there's been any in federal government so far, but in positions of responsibility, whether they're a church or something like that, and they get caught. They get caught with doing the child porn. They get caught abusing kids. I mean, it's just absolutely horrific. And so, yeah, I mean, don't give me your sob story that, oh, well, I went out and I was misgendered. I went out and people were looking funny at me. I mean, I don't care. If you're an adult and you want to do what you do with other consenting adults, the people sitting at this desk couldn't care less.
Be as weird as you fucking want to.
Get your freak on. Whatever way you want, but for the love of God, man, just leave the kids alone. Leave the kids alone. I don't think that's asking too much.
And it rolls in the fact that it is a fucking sickness, in my opinion, and I think you agree. It's a fucking sickness that's been perpetuated by different ideologies and parents that are like, oh no, that's fine. Yeah, you can do that. You have a fucking mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to change at 18, then go do it. But you have all these parents that, under the age of 18, and we're going off on a tangent, but the parents are allowing these kids at fucking 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all through adolescence that they don't even know what adolescence is yet, and they're allowing them to fucking change over. And do you not think that that's not fucking with their brain?
Sure it is.
So look at all the fucking some of these school shooters. What do we see that's a common denominator?
Well, a lot of it is they're hooked into this whole trans agenda stuff.
Correct.
And these kids get caught up in this. It's a nightmare. And it's absolute living hell. And also, just to pile on this, the Trump administration has told hospitals that they're not going to send any more federal dollars to hospitals or clinics that perform these surgeries, that give kids the cross-sex hormones, that do all these drugs, these rejection, because there's rejection drugs and all these other drugs you got to take if you get involved in this stuff. And so the Trump administration has said, we're not doing it anymore. And then the National Association of Plastic Surgeons came out and said, they're no longer endorsing these kind of surgeries. And the American Medical Association piggybacked onto that. So you've got all this mounting medical evidence out there that these surgeries and these treatments are not necessary. They are, we had Rachel Levin, the dude who pretended he was a woman, who was the undersecretary of Health and Human Services, making videos out there saying that these surgeries are necessary, they're life-saving. What a bunch of crap.
The Admiral.
Yeah, complete bullshit. And so there was a big hospital in New York that announced, and there's hospitals all across the country that are announcing that they are no longer providing these services. So number one, if these procedures were truly life-saving, all right, then you would have doctors and you would have medical professionals standing up to this and saying that I am going to continue doing these surgeries because this is what's best for my patient. My patients need this life-saving surgery.
And that's
good. But you know what? They're quitting because what? Because the money isn't there. Wouldn't matter if the money was there. Right? They would stand up and say they're doing the right thing, but they're not doing that. They're backing off. They're quitting because they can't get paid anymore.
And my question to you, is to you, like, not Dan specifically, but you brought up what is life-saving? What is life-saving about doing these types of procedures and prescribing these drugs? What is life-saving? I've been a paramedic for a long fucking time, and I don't understand how that is a life threat, because you want this, but these doctors are prescribing. Like, what is life-saving about it?
It's a lie. It's always been a lie. There's nothing life-saving about it. As a
fucking joke.
A doctor can look at a healthy body and look at a MRI or an X-ray, and you can determine this patient has cancer. This patient has a tumor that's growing in whatever part of the body it's growing in. And if this tumor is allowed to grow, then for a fact this patient is going to die. Yeah. It's just that's the way cancer works. Mm-hmm. So in that case, is treating that, either radiation, chemo, surgery, whatever the case may be, is treating that necessary in order for this patient to live? I think you can make the case, yes.
Yes.
When it comes to a transgender kid, if you do nothing to that kid, what harm are you doing to the body? If you do absolutely nothing, you're not doing any harm whatsoever.
Correct.
So on one hand, cancer
is the kid,
you don't operate, you die.
And I'll throw it that in the fact that the only thing that puts is that we have a bigger mental illness issue, mm-hmm. but not a physiological issue.
It's absolutely a mental illness.
Yeah. It's black and white when it comes to the fucking body. Very, very gray when it comes to the mind. I mean, it's super, super gray. I don't think gray is even a good fucking term for it, but there's so many different illnesses out there, though, that because Bobby wants to become Bonnie, you deal with that later. Like the parents are going to be in a bind, right? But you don't just say, okay, well, yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut off your nuts. We're going to sew in a fucking vagina, and now you're bonding.
Well, I think there are some parents who are definitely twisted on this, and they see a transgender kid as some sort of status symbol. So I think that's why you have a lot of these Hollywood elite types who like to run around and say, "Oh, I have 3 transgender kids.
Right.
I have 2. I have 5. I can make as many as I want." I think there's that factor, which is called Munchausen's syndrome by proxy.
Because they keep them sick.
Yeah. And
You're older than I am, obviously.
Yes.
But you look great, by the way. You look great for your age. It's nice being a good svelte 85. But no, you remember. So I saw this story the other day, but I'm gonna equate it and I'm gonna bring it together. But did you watch Ozzie and Harriet growing up?
No, I did not.
You know the show though.
Yeah, that show was even before my time.
Okay,
so I'm not that old.
Okay, but you know the show.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
and you know the son Ricky, right?
Okay,
Ricky Nelson.
Okay, yeah,
who's a musician, died in a plane crash.
Yeah, he was a famous singer.
Yes. Yeah. But he was on the show, right?
Yeah.
What has changed from 50s, 60s, where you can be gay? That's fine. And it may have been looked down upon, but you could be gay. You know, if you wanted to go fuck a dude or you wanted to, scissor clamp a chick, you could go do that. You might get looked down upon, but nothing changed physiologically. Now, all of a sudden, what has changed from 50s, 60s, 70s, and even the 80s? Nobody was really transitioning. You may have had like maybe 0.5% of the fucking population that would transition. Now, all of a sudden, and I would like to see. I'm going to try to fucking look it up.
Well, I know the point. I know the point you're making is that those of us who grew up in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, and even the early 2000s, think of all the kids you knew when you were growing up that you went to school with, all the way through elementary school and grade school and middle school and high school and even into college. How many of those kids were trans? How many of those kids thought they were a girl trapped in a boy's body? How many? The answer is probably 0. But now you have entire classrooms. You'll have a teacher say, "Oh, I've got 25 kids in this class and 12 or 14 of them are trans." I mean, that's complete crap. And it's all because they have access to the internet. They're being influenced by people. Look, kids, a natural part of growing up is they have anxiety. You're not sure who you are. You're vulnerable. And when you see someone promising you the elixir of this is going to solve all your problems because you're a boy trapped in a girl's body, or God made you wrong and you were really supposed to be a boy, but you were a girl, whatever the case may be. You get a lot of influence on there, and then I think you have other parents who listen to the advocates for this, and they tell the parents, "Would you rather have a live son or a dead daughter?" And so that's parents who care about their kids, when they're presented with that kind of choice, they really have no choice at all, because you don't want your kid to die, so you go along with it. And I think a lot of parents got trapped into that.
So this number doesn't seem big. And great, there's a lot of people in the fucking world, right? But from the 60s to the 90s, they said estimates in early literature, it was 0.1%. 2022 to 26 suggest 1%. So you're going from 0.1% to 1% of U.S. population age 13 and older. Roughly 2.8 million people identify as trans. Now, granted, it doesn't seem like that much, but that's a lot.
Oh yeah, when you talk about the actual numbers,
right?
But you go back and look, and that's one of the arguments that those on the other side of this tend to make is, oh, why do you have to be so upset when we're talking about such a small number of the population? Well, that's true. It is a relatively small of the overall population, a small number. But look at what governments have done. Look at what schools have done. Look at what businesses have done to overcompensate, to make sure that your trans kids feel welcome. I mean, we changed school policy. We changed government policy. You had stores like Target were putting out, remember the tuck bathing suits they were
Oh,
putting
yeah.
out a couple
Yep.
of years ago. Everything's got rainbow this, rainbow that. We got to
no pun intended.
Yeah.
We railed on that.
yeah,
for a
we
little bit.
got to celebrate Gay Pride, Trans Pride Day, and all this crap. I mean, we've been over backwards
So one of the
for this. And
demographic findings: youth versus adults. Younger populations report higher percentages. As of 2022, 3.3% of youth aged 13 to 17 identify as transgendered, compared to 0.8% of adults.
well, more youth are going to identify as trans because they're mixed up and
They are
and
getting fed.
all the
so
literature
much-
also shows that if these kids are left to their own devices, the vast majority of them outgrow.
Yeah.
It's a phase. Kids go through phases.
I had-
Everyone knows that.
And I had never looked. I had never looked at those numbers, so I'm glad we got on that, because that's kind of eye opening a little bit. Obviously, I know the kids are more more apt for that to happen, but you only have 0.8% of adults that are like, all right, I'm going to do it.
But going back to one of the very earliest shows that we did, we talked about this with our friend Lady Maga USA.
Yep.
And our agenda from that day to this day has been, if you're an adult, you do what you want, but just for the love of God, just leave the kids alone. And for some people, that's asking too much.
Oh, dude, they have to be involved.
That is asking way too much, and it shouldn't be that way. All right, Kiefer, make this headline make sense. I was getting. And let me finish. Let me finish up this other thought, because I started
that. Then I'll hit that. But I'm going to hit.
I started
sponsor
talking about these hospitals that are no longer doing these procedures. So Letitia James, New York City.
Oh, she's amazing.
Attorney General has gone to this hospital in New York that said they're no longer going to do these surgeries. She is suing them now to make them to continue to do these procedures.
Okay.
She's claiming that their civil rights are being violated because they can't get these treatments at this hospital anymore. How sick? Think about the depravity of that.
Coming out of Letitia James's mouth. That's fucking rich.
She is so stupid and so ignorant that she's going and she made the statement that these treatments are life-saving to these kids. And all she has to do is look at the evidence and know that it's not true. But that's not good enough for her. So she's trying to force this hospital to go back and start doing these, start butchering these kids and cutting off body parts.
I guarantee she just didn't even do a simple fucking Google search.
Because
she's that fucking ignorant. Let's hear from Murph real quick, and then we'll get to that. It's perfect.
Hi, everyone. Dan Carroll here. Time to tell you about a great new sponsor for the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. It's Murphy Engraving. Murphy Engraving is the place to go for your business, industrial, and personal engraving needs. Take a look at the Murphy Engraving page on Facebook, and you're going to see all kinds of unique items that really seem to take on a life of their own because they've been customized with an image, a name, or a logo, and all of it just really beautifully done. The acrylic sports awards that light up are especially creative and very cool. The customized bottles of bourbon, those are my personal favorite. And wait till you see what they can do with items that are made out of wood. The next time you want to recognize someone special or you're looking for that one-of-a-kind gift, you'll be glad you checked out Murphy Engraving. And a bonus, you're supporting a local family-owned business run by brothers Brian and Kevin, who is a lifetime firefighter and Air Force vet. At Murphy Engraving, they turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, and at Murphy Engraving, we are American-made. You should look at the New York Post yesterday. And only in the New York Post do you find headlines like this. And I love the New York Post. So make this make sense, Keith. Trans porn star allegedly stabs man who wouldn't have sex over religious differences.
What was it? Was he not circed? Was he not circed?
Transgender porn model LaRose Saint, Sainte, allegedly stabbed a man who rejected having sex with the adult content creator because Saint isn't Jewish. The victim told Miami-Dade County Police they met 3 weeks prior.
Miami, weird.
Yeah.
Shocker.
He invited Saint to his apartment on February 19th. Saint, who has a neck and forehead tattoos and posts explicit videos on X. So there you go, 513. Saint posts.
Well, I can't. You didn't send it to me, so
explicit videos on X.
so I can't show it.
What's that?
Well, you said there you go, Cincy. I thought.
Well,
I thought you wanted Cincy to see that
Cincy
picture.
can look up the videos on X.
Oh, gross.
Let me see. Allegedly flew into a rage when the victim said he wouldn't have sex because Saint is not Jewish. Saint allegedly demanded his car keys and money when the man tried to escape the bathroom.
Scroll down a little bit.
Saint attacked, pushing him to the ground and
No, the other
repeatedly punching him in the face. This
Jesus Christ.
way.
Looks like
yeah. It's
if anybody has an aquarium, it looks like the sucker fish. That's fucking literally. There's so much fucking.
It's not
Botox
it's
and all that bullshit
Yeah.
in those lips. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Gross. Fucking tatted all the way to here. I'm glad you
Yeah.
didn't send me that because I really don't.
Yeah,
want to
that's
show
it.
that.
It's not good. It's not good.
So
I guess they got to the part where the rubber was supposed to hit the road, so to speak, and dude said no.
nicely played, sir. I
mean,
I fucking hope you have a rubber with that. Jesus fucking Christ. Not even with your fucking wiener would that happen.
Oh man. So look, my advice to you, just stay away from that stuff. Stay away from.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that we got to hear from. This
We
guy.
definitely got.
Do we know this guy's name?
I'll let you know if I do.
Okay, it's a great take. I love this.
It's tax season, everybody.
Yeah.
No, it's just user. But our buddy James McGee reposted this, but he's just got a user. This guy's got just a username on TikTok, but this is awesome.
My tax return this year after I apparently answered one of their questions incorrectly. In response to their question, do I have any dependents or do I have anyone dependent upon me? I said yes. 9.5 million illegal immigrants, 650 idiots in Washington, 80,000 criminals in Minnesota, and 3.4 million people on unemployment. And then the IRS stated to me that my answer was unacceptable. Then I wrote them back. Did I leave anybody out?
I leave anybody out? I mean,
I feel like he checked all the boxes.
It's a pretty comprehensive list.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought he did a pretty good job on that.
I went and saw my tax guy last week, Mr. Peter Griffin, and I should have asked him these fucking questions. He goes, "Did you donate anything to Goodwill?" Fuck, no, I didn't. All right, what can we do here? And he starts, his fingers start fucking working on the computer keyboard. He's like, "All right, this looks better." I should have asked that.
Yeah.
Why did I not ask that question last week? Son of a bitch. Joe and I would have been fucking rolling.
I'm thinking about responding the same way. So I haven't done mine yet, but the time is coming. So I've got a lot more dependents than I knew I had. It's a beautiful thing.
I didn't even fucking realize that. Oh, let's talk about this dumb bitch too, real quick.
All right.
Before we
What's her problem?
Well, everybody is against Minnesota. And Mr. Nick Shirley, who has obviously made a name for himself.
Yeah.
And has called out some pretty legitimate shit.
I think so.
She doesn't like it.
Doesn't like.
Republicans took a legitimate investigation and, as per usual, has made it a circus. Now we have just like a random guy lurking around child care centers trying to get into buildings with children as the fraud vigilante. The Somali community has been vilified and made to feel unsafe. And federal benefits are being cut to Minnesota and other Democrat-led states. Republicans took a
Well, now, the first thing I would say to that, you see, Ms. Lee, this is where you're wrong. Because...
we've never heard of you.
Yeah, and you said he's trying to get into buildings with children. Well, the buildings he went to didn't have any children in them.
Correct.
So he's not trying to
Correct.
get.
Thank you.
He's essentially asking the question, where are the kids?
Right.
I heard him ask that question multiple times because the kids were not there. So he was not trying to get into buildings with nothing creepy about that. Thank you very much.
That's Ms. Lee. Never heard of you. Jill and I, we always make the joke like, "Oh shit, never heard of her." Yeah. Oh, Dan Carroll,
Yeah.
never heard of her. Fucking
Yeah.
around. We've never heard of you. Nick Shirley has been on some of the biggest podcasts, the biggest news networks, and has factual documentation. And you're
Yeah.
essentially trying to call him a fucking pedophile.
Well, he did the job that the mainstream media should have been doing.
Correct.
But they will not do it. They
Exactly.
simply will not do it. It's good stuff.
Dano, what we got this week?
All right.
What's your schedule look like this week?
Friday probably works for me. Later this week.
Friday won't work.
Next week's going to be tough.
All right. Well, we'll
Next
let you know.
week is very tough.
We have no idea.
I got a full plate next week.
We have no idea where we're going again. But there will be a Kiefer Than Therapy at some point this week, and I'm sure I'll be on with James and Candace and Two Dicks and a Chick.
I wish I was an NFL free agent.
I wish you were too.
You see some of the money these guys are.
I know.
signing
I
for?
wish you were too.
Jeez.
But we'll get back with it. We'll let you know. We got to get with Pappas once Pappas is back, landed safely. We'll figure out when one more's coming back. But we probably have another one this week, so we'll figure it out. But hey, we appreciate you guys. Remember, like, subscribe, download, do all the things, and we appreciate you guys, and we love you.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button, and we'll see.